probability, and we are on Venn diagrams, exercise 4, you have to do number A for me. They say that there are 160 people that were asked how they prepare their food. 3 methods were identified: using an oven, using a microwave, and using a bride. Okay, right? The results were as follows. 110 people use an oven, so many use a microwave. So one of the first things I want to teach you is read the whole thing. Because very often you read the whole thing and write through, and then at the end they say, let the people who use a bride be A. Now you've already made it a B or a microwave or an oven or a whatever. So please read through the whole thing before you start doing it. So I did read through it, and I didn't never ever say, pull this one, this and that. Because it's good to say in exam, let the oven be O, microwave be M, and bride be B, just because it's logical. But if I wanted to say A, B, C, then that's what you do. You can't do your own thing. Okay. Also, if I go through all of that stuff, they say so many use a this and a this and a this and a that, and at the end they say 20 people use all 3 methods, which is a good thing for a Venn diagram, because that's when they all intersect. So when we start off with a Venn diagram, how many circles? This was on page 353. Let me make it bigger. So we've got 3 circles, and I'm assuming that there's going to be some intersection, and even if I do sketch it with intersections and they don't intersect, then I'll just say, well, this is nothing. There's nothing there. No problem with it. Okay, so how many people were asked? That's my sample space. 160. So in here, everything added together, inside of the circles and outside, has to be adding up to 160. Let's start as they started and say 110 people use an oven. So it's oven, 110. Where I put the 110? Because that means the people who use just an oven, or combinations of whatever, or all included to be the 110. Okay. 95 use a microwave, so I'll call it M95. And then we also have the bride, and they say a bride is 38 people. Again, I don't know if the 38 must be here or broken up into little pieces. They haven't said enough information. If they just say they used a bride, that means I don't know about the other stuff. Unless they say only a bride, then I knew it had to be here. Okay. 30 people, now this is the piece, or 50 people use an oven and a microwave oven. I'm going to start with that and then skip ahead. 50 people use an oven and a microwave. Does that say anything about a bride? No. If they say 50 use an oven and a microwave, that means those 2 things add up to 50. An oven and a microwave. So oven and microwave is here. That's everything there. That's 50. Not just these. Because I didn't say not a bride. 50 use an oven and a microwave, and they didn't say not a bride. That means the 50 must be here, and it's not 25, 25. We're still going to read a little bit further. And the same thing happens with the others. So I want to show you that, and then I'm going to say, no, let's read the whole thing and skip it front to the 20 people that use all 3 methods. Because if I put that in here first, and that's 20, then obviously this has got to be 30. You see it? So that helps me. But if you didn't read that, you would have said 30 people that use an oven, 50 use the oven. I did that one. 30 people use the oven and the brine. 30 use the oven and the brine. That means that little piece there, that's just my personal technique saying that's going to be everything there. Also, again, not 15, I don't know what yet. Once I know, I'll be able to sort it out. And 25 people use a microwave and a brine. The main thing is, microwave and a brine is there, but that doesn't say it mustn't have an oven or it must have. I don't know. And that is 25 people. But if I had read the whole thing right through, and then at the end they said 20 people use all 3, that would have been where I would have started. So hold your horses, read everything. If they give you everything in the middle, then we have a nice start. If they don't, usually we say X. to be able to get all the other stuff. Now, if I had read that first, then this 50 would have made this 30. And this 30 would have made this 10, 25 would have made this 5. So you didn't need to use this method if you had done the 20 first. Read the whole thing, and if they give you the intersection of all 3 circles, that's a good place to start. Okay? And that's it. They didn't give you all the information, no, they did give you enough so that you can complete it. So, where would I start? Doesn't really matter, but we normally start at the left-hand side top, doesn't matter. Because there's one thing short of the 4. You see it? Here again, there's one thing short of the 4. Here again, there's one thing short of the 4. So any which one you want to start with is fine. So I already have here 60. So I'm short. That only used oven. I've already got here 55, so I'm short. 40, that only used the microwave. Here I've got 35, so 3 of them only use the braai. Only use the braai every day. Okay, is that it? No. Why? So you must add everything and see how many are short to get to 160. Just one technical aspect. Can I just add 110 and 95 and 38? No? Because then you're adding the insides 2 and 3 times. And that's when you're going to get much more. Even just those 2 added together is more than 160. So you can't just add them. So physically, add, and what's left on the outside is 2. So what happens to them? They're fasting or what? So they're using, I don't know what, air fryer, whatever. Okay? First question says, represent the Venn diagram. How many marks? 6, 8. Easy. Okay? So for each of those, definitely that would have been the easiest mark to get. Agreed. Okay. You could give more marks like this 160 there, but often people don't even teach you to do that, and that's fine. I just find it's easier when I've got everything there. First question says, how many of these people do not use any of these 3 methods to prepare food? This is question 2. 1 is the Venn diagram. How many people use none of the above? Now, what am I talking about here? They just want the amount of people. They're not talking about the probability. So don't answer probability when it's the number of people and the other way around. How many of them don't? 2. And if you only wrote that in your test, perfect. But if I ask you it this way, then you must be able to know that it's the amount of people that do whatever. Second question. Third question. A person is selected randomly from the group. What is the probability that this person does something? First of all, uses only a microwave oven. Only a microwave oven is? No marks. Over 160. Are you with me? Because I'm busy with probability, which you don't have to write this way, but I like it if you do the maths correctly. So the probability of using only a microwave would be 40 over 160 in the simplest form. 1. Okay. The trick in exam, if you only wrote that, you would get full marks. Nothing there, not simplified, you still get your full marks. And usually the marks go like that. Knowing this probability and it's out of 160. Simplification is just what we do because we're good mathematicians. What is the probability that they use exactly 2 methods? 9. Now, where is exactly 2 methods? 30, 10, and 5. Not 20, because it says exactly 2. These people use ovens and microwaves. That's exactly 2. These use microwaves and braais. Exactly 2. These 10 people use ovens and braais. Exactly 2 of them. So it's a good idea, like I taught you, to write 10 plus 30 plus 5. Why is this a good idea? Because you might have messed this up. You might have put 50 there, and then everything else fell apart because you thought the 50 should go there. Now, stuff isn't working out lekker, but at least after getting 2 out of 8 for your Venn diagram, I can still go back to your Venn diagram and give you the marks for knowing exactly 2 are the ones that are there, whatever they may be. You put them there and you can get full marks. Answer is 45. Yes. Which is? 9 over 32. 9 over 32. Last question.
At least 2 of.
What is the probability that they use at least, listen to the English, 2 methods of the 3? At least 2 methods. See the English? At least, at most, exactly. Okay? So at least 2 methods means 2 and 3. So it's not these people that use no method. It's not these that only use one method. It is those 3 that we already have, but then also the 20, because at least 2 means it can be 3 as well. Okay? That would then be same sum.
2 plus 20 plus 10 plus 5.
And whichever order, which is
65 over
5, which gives me
18.
sum is done. And then again, it's about 2 marks, 8 marks, 16 marks for the whole sum. Venn diagrams. Okay. Alright, let's see how you did. There's a group of 200 learners that were interviewed about which social media they use. And the results were as follows. So many use Facebook, so many use Instagram, so many use Twitter. So you can see why I did Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And the S, the sample space, 200 is 200. Remember, if they do something like 2,000 questionnaires was sent out, they received back 200, then this would be 200. You can't say the sample space is the ones that you never got back. Something like that. So now, 100 use Facebook. Where does that go? Outside. Because again, if they say 100 use Facebook, you should be saying that's not indicating that they don't use the others. And Instagram is 70, and Twitter is 70. Right. Then they go, so many use Facebook. Well, I think we've learned our lesson. Let's read the whole thing. Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, Instagram and Twitter. 50 don't use any of these. Oh, I was reading and hoping for all 3. No, they don't give me all 3. And, okay, I think the 50 that don't use any of the 3 is safe to go sit. Somewhere outside, anywhere. Just don't squeeze it in that nobody can see it. Okay? Let X be the number of learners which use all 3, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So they're telling you, so you can't use anything other than X. After reading through the whole thing. Now let's go back, because I thought it was going to be a nice one like the previous one, but unfortunately. So if they say 50 use Facebook and Instagram, Facebook and Instagram, where's the 50? Both of them are 50. What does that mean there? Excellent, for those of you who got it right. 50, I'm going to put there by saying put both of them together must add up to 50. So if I don't know which use but all of them, it's going to be, I don't know what, subtracted from 50. Is X minus 50 the same thing? Okay. Then 40 use Facebook and Twitter. So 40 here means that this is going to be 40. You got it now. And 35 use Instagram and Twitter. So this will be 35 minus. Not X minus 35. It's not the same thing. If you ever wonder, think about it as a number. If I knew that X was 10, then this would have been 35 minus 10, not 10 minus 35. Okay. Then, that was it. Oh no, is there enough information here? Okay, let's see. They gave me the outside part. What would this then be?
100 minus.
Okay, so you're going to have to do some sums, and maybe we should write it. Okay? You don't have to. If you got the answer right, that's fine. But maybe you're going to mess it up in your mind. I wouldn't take the chance. I'd rather go and say, let's see. For the 100 Facebook, that should be 100 let's say 100 minus, yeah, let's do it this way. I don't want to use another variable. Let's add all of them together and say 50 minus x plus 40 minus x. All of that must be added together and subtracted from 100. So higher level than the previous one, do you agree?
Yeah.
Same principles, but higher level of difficulty. So add those together, and the answer must be subtracted from 100 to know what must be over there. If you wanted to say, let's call it little star, and then let's make this little star, can I prevent you from doing that?
You can't.
Okay? Okay? So the answer would be, first add them, that's going to be 90. And that's going to give me minus x. But times with the negative, because I'm sure somebody was asking me about a negative just now. I think this is where the mistake came in. So that would be, let me write 100 minus 90 plus x. You could omit that step, and then your answer would be 10 plus x. Again with the x's. Okay, so 10 plus x is the answer. So I'm seeing it where it comes from. So you're going to have to do 3 of these sums, unfortunately. So then this one, let's make it whatever is interesting in the maths. So that would be 70 minus 50 minus x plus the x plus the 35 minus. Are you seeing the principle here?
Yes.
We're adding them all together and subtracting it from 70. So this would be 85. And this would be minus x. I can even do that one step and throw away the minus then, but don't confuse yourself. So that would be minus x. So this would then be
70 minus 85.
Okay, let's write it. 70 minus 85 plus x. Oh no, there's a negative. No, that's not a problem. X must not be negative. So x obviously has got to be bigger than 15. Otherwise this answer is going to be a negative. But that being negative is no problem.
Yes.
Maybe that was your question. So, and then I'd rather why we want to write that. No reason, but maybe it looks better. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the same exact thing for, what do you want to call it?
Circle.
No, man.
I'm a circle.
Nice thingy.
Stickman.
Okay, how would I find out what that is? Again?
75.
Minus everything. Okay, so it's 75. This is 75. And minus x. And the answer is just x. So this one will also be, so it's just by accident that whatever x is, if x works out to be 22, then this will be 22 and that will be 22 as well. No other reason. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so that's everything in terms of the x's. Now I'm going to erase that because now I'd like to go and calculate the rest of it. Okay. So, to find the x eventually, after lots and lots, how many marks for this so far?
A lot.
A lot, yes, a lot. Because that's definitely not just worth 1 mark, at least 2,
Or 3.
for knowing that you've got to take the 100 and subtract whatever you've got. It's a lot of work, much higher level than the previous one. So now to find x, what's the principle?
Use the sample space.
Okay, I'm going to do it over here because there's more space. So you've got it? Okay, or just, first of all, it'll be 10 plus x plus. Are you with me what I'm doing here? I think I am doing it a little bit stupid because I'm going to show you now another way. Because that's fine, going plus x plus 40 minus x, but what is all of that?
Oh,
It's 100.
literally. Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing here. But think about it, that's 100.
Literally.
Add it, and you're going to see the then fall away, and it's going to be 100, by the way. But you can't say 100 plus 70 plus 75. That we know is not right.
Yes.
But if you had said this 100
You make it equals to 100.
plus that and that and that and that will equal to
200.
200. Should it work? Or let's say 70 plus that plus that plus that plus that should also give you 200. So how many alternative variations are there? A lot. And if your brain wants to think, no, I don't know what you just said. Plus, 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 plus. That's perfect. No problem. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's do it. Plus, 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 plus. Where am I now? Just don't lose yourself. That I've done. Plus 35 minus x. Plus x minus 15. Plus x.
Plus
Don't forget the plus 50. And all of that should be equal to, I don't know, space.
200.
Whether it's on the left or whether it's on the
Right.
right. Doesn't matter. You've got an equation. An enormous equation. And it's okay. Now you just have to add the like terms. So, 2x. Gone. I think it's just x. Help, help, help here. 60. 100. 20. 70. Guys, you've got to check up on me here quickly. Please take your calculators. Can somebody tell me if it's right? And please, it's not a, well, it is a race against time in an exam as well, but you've got to be accurate as well. Don't try and do it as fast as you can. Somebody confirms it is 30. Okay, so then we can go back, and it looks like a Christmas tree at the moment, so maybe, just for the sake of this exercise, let's do it again. Because we have time. We don't have time in an exam. So F100, T70, T75 means that I'll go back to this one and say that is 30. And obviously this is going to be 20, 10, and 5. Okay. This is 10 plus x, so it's 40. Just check quickly, it is 100. This should be 50 minus, if it was now, say x was, what did we say? Say x was 10, this didn't work. Now I can carry on and do CA, continuous assessment. I can still give you marks with your wrong stuff. But if your answer becomes a minus something here, I can't give you the marks because it's not logical in probability. Although the math is right, after making a mistake, you still have to keep it into correct logic. You can't have a negative over there. Okay, but 30 minus 15 is 15, and this x was 13. Oh, sorry, thank you. 30, and this one was 50. So eventually that s is still 200. If you thought we were finished, we're not. There's still some questions to ask. How many of the learners only use Facebook? So that was solving for x, that's number 2. Number 3, how many only use Facebook? 40. That would be 40. My F is terrible. Only 40. Answer in the exam, perfect. Let's say the number of only Facebooks. At least one of the 3. And again, how many?
All of them.
At least one.
Oh.
At least one? You with me here? Now in an exam, you wouldn't have rewritten it. You would have gone on your sketch and you would have put it in there. Okay? Only at least one would mean what? But glad you said that. Everything except 50. Because he doesn't use 1. They use 1. They use 2. They use 3. So at least 1 is everything except 50. That's a nice way of working with it and saying, in other words, 200 minus the 50 out of. So that gives you 3/4 of these things. What's wrong? Help? Oh, thank you. Thank you. How many marks did I lose? Not everything. If it was 2 marks, 1 mark. If it was one, everything. Okay, because this is probability and it's not probability, it's the number of people. Thank you for helping me. So that would be 150 people. Exactly one of the three. Again, the number of people exactly one would mean 40 plus 15 plus 30. Are you with me? Don't add it up in your head and just give me the answer, because if that's wrong, I can still carry on over here and see where you got it from, which gives me 85. Thank you. Goodness gracious, another question. What is the probability that a randomly selected learner, because that's what it always is, randomly selected learner, uses Instagram and Twitter but not Facebook? So what do I write? Instagram and Twitter and not Facebook. Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
What does that mean? Do you have to write it this way? No, you can just give me the answer. Well, what does that mean? And it's where they intersect. So I want to know who uses Instagram and Twitter and also not Facebook. So Instagram and Twitter is there. And not Facebook is not that. So it's only this piece. So it's only 5. So now let me do it wrong again. What's wrong?
It's 200.
That's the number of. That's not the probability. So that should be. Okay. Probability. Thanks. Okay. Do for me, please, number D. That is going to be our last one. Also on page 353. Number D.